Public service announcement. We know what you did.
What's going on? What's going on? Yes, we do know what you did. But hey, man, it's the Atl Sportz Endgame-Run-It-Back. Look, I know we had to switch times. Like I said, we had that great show that I was on, so we ain't want to overload you guys in the afternoon. So I dropped it to the evening. The other panel members should be in here shortly. Right now, before we get to the chat, got my main man next to me, man. We got Coach in the building. Coach Unchained, what's going on, man?
What's happening, y'all? I just left most of y'all, but welcome back.
Hey, man, we got an interesting show for y'all, man. We got an interesting show. We ain't going to have a lot of topics, but we are going to have a lot of time to talk about them. But before we get to that, we get to the chat. We got in pole position. We got Deshaun Caswell. What's going on? My boy D. Sloan. We got Jerry Bowie. Man, Mike. Hey, man, get better, Senator. We're going to hold it down for you, man. Like I said, them colds ain't no joke. Take care of yourself. We got Diamond Honey 81. What's going on? We got Floyd Donnelly. We got Tabro. What's going on? We got Brian Peoples. We got Georgia, Texas boy. And Miss Sonia Howe. We got Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. What's going on? And Engine number 9. What's going on? Look, man, I know you guys have, been keeping up with Coach and keeping up with you and everything about the draft picks or whatnot. Make sure you guys stay tuned. They're going to give you the live updates. I'll give, my takes on them kind of like once we really get into free agency after the Super Bowl. I like to, really go through free agency and then get into the draft. But I will be making sure I keep abreast as far as Coach goes. But, hey, man, let's get right to it. I know y'all saw the title. Y'all probably scratching your head like, why are they still talking about this dude? But, hey, we're going to go ahead and get right into it. Basically, there can be only one. Yeah. We're gonna get this. We're gonna get this started off now. Pretty much, as you guys know, the Falcons are, $11 million in cap, and we don't have very many picks going into, free agency or whatnot.
Being negative.
Negative. That means we ain't got Nathan.
Nothing. It's nothing.
Right. So basically, you all know we're in the same situation that we were in 2021, although the money deficit isn't that big. And like I've been saying across the shows, Terry gonna get real disrespectful. Because Terry ain't worth shit now. When it comes time to make, he gonna finesse the hell out of somebody. But right. But in this mode, we really got to be smart about it, because with us having our franchise quarterback, we have to make moves on this team without tearing his team down and without leaving him completely exposed. But first, I'm gonna let Coach give his thoughts on this right here. When we talk about Kyle Pitts or Tyler Algier, it can only be one. And we talked about this time and time again. And the closer it get, the more this possibility becomes a reality. So, Coach, what you got on this?
Okay. I have my thoughts on Kyle Pitts has changed just a little bit.
Oh, okay.
After looking at some stuff. I looked at the numbers of the wide receivers, the tight ends that in the playoff, for instance. Cal is ranked number 13 out of the 30 top, in football.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I'm looking at all the guys who are the top guys we call top guys. You got your Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Kelsey is a different breed. Him and Mahomes been working together since Mahomes been there. So they have that nucleus. So they know each other's per se. Cal, on the other hand, he looked great with Matt Ryan, correct? Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, he did.
Then he come the next year, he had Marcus. He didn't play with Desmond because he was hurt. So he didn't get to play with Desmond the first year. So, but we know what that shit show looked like that year.
Right.
So the following year, we had an undeveloped quarterback, which is in Desmond, and he had Taylor, whatever his name is. All right. However, those times he still put up 500 plus yards.
Right.
Now, he is a tight end. We keep failing to realize he is a tight end.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a route runner. And neither is, I'm not even gonna call Kelsey a route runner. Kelsey's just a zone buster. He knows how to find the zones. He works his craft more than what Cal does. Could Cal get that way? Yeah. But Cal has such that natural talent and that natural athletic ability. Kelsey has to work harder. These wide receivers, these tight ends you guys are talking about, they got to work twice as hard to be that athletic as Cal is.
Right.
So, with that being said, we got a young stud at quarterback that's going to be taking that tuck over the ring the last 3 games of this year. Why get rid of Cal? Why don't we put that opportunity and see could it work? We don't know. And plus, one more thing about Cal. Cal is a disturber. Do you think without Cal Pitts, you think Ray would get all those yards?
Coach, I've been saying that for weeks. Yes. I've been saying it for weeks.
Would he get all those yards? I don't think so. Because Cal is taking people away from those guys, for them guys can eat. I hate to say that, but you guys look at, oh, he was drafted number 4. Yeah, he was drafted early. Now, my thing is here. If you get rid of Cal Pitts, which I doubt they are, because they could, but you never know. If you get rid of him, you really haven't given him the opportunity to play with a quarterback that can give him the ball.
Man, Coach, look, I'm telling you, look, they not understanding what you just said. And here's what we were talking about in the chat the other day, and I brought this up. Mike said, do not be surprised, because we were watching film on Mike Penix, but I'm glad Coach brought this up. We was watching film, and we noticed out of all of the weapons we got, we don't really have a wide receiver that can take the top off of defense. Now, Drake is good, but Drake doesn't have that speed to take the top off of defense, right? Mm-hmm. So remember a couple shows back, I told y'all, I said, when Kyle gets a touchdown, pay very close attention to where Drake is. Drake's usually on the field somewhere, because Drake's the only other big body receiver on our team that when you put both of them on the field, they get noticed. So if they're covering Drake, Kyle is usually open. If they're covering Kyle, Drake's usually open, because Kyle's a clear out guy. Mm-hmm. Now, like Coach was saying, what if we end up getting another big body receiver that's a speed receiver that can run them routes to take the top off the defense? Guess what? Now you give Mike Penix somebody that's going to be a deep threat. A true deep threat will take 30% of all the people off of Kyle Pitts. It'll literally open him up. Mm-hmm. Literally open him up. Now, remember what we said. A lot of people complained because they said he was being underutilized, which he was. But he was being underutilized in the area of catching a lot of passes going downfield. But he was clearing it out because, yes, without Kyle, Ray and Mooney don't get the ball as often, because Kyle took away at least 2 or 3 of those defenders any given time. So by having a true deep threat wide receiver, now Kyle is free to he's free to wreak havoc in the middle. Him and Drake can wreak havoc because now the corners and safeties really got to decide on who they gonna guard, who they gonna bracket. Now, with that being said, if the Falcons should go offense first in the draft, you got to figure out who's got to go. Somebody got to go because everybody not going to be able to stay on the offense.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So enter Kyle or Tyler Algier. Now, I know you about to say something about that, Coach. Go ahead, jump on it.
No, I'm going to say something. I'm going to just piggyback a little bit what you said earlier. Something that Jeff Albright said in his press conference. He said these offensive coordinators today are not the same offensive coordinator you had back in the day.
Right.
Now, think about this. Every offense, every defense that the Falcons play, they're scheming for who? Bijan, Drake, and Kyle. No matter what the hell Kyle does, I don't care if he's not having 1,000 yards. They're scheming for him because they know the potential of that. So when you got to scheme for 3 people, that's a problem. Most teams don't have 3 people you have to really scheme for. Usually 2.
Right.
And then you add Mooney to that. Now you got 4 people to scheme for. That's a problem. So, that's
2/3 of your 6-man rotation.
Exactly. So,
now, that's not to say you got the wrinkles like Cordero Hodge here and there, or like one of the second tier guys or whatnot. That's not to say even when they throw them in there. But yeah, but imagine now, Coach. Imagine we still keep a 6-man rotation, but we change some of the guys out. So imagine, and this is what I thought about. Say, okay, we got to end up getting rid of Tyler Algier. Everybody like, nah, man, we don't do it. We end up getting him or trading him. Not only we end up trading him, but because I'm gonna tell you, whomever we trade, we gonna try to get a couple picks for.
Got to get something.
Right. So let's say we get a couple late round picks and we trade them. We take some money, we add some money to the cap. Okay. Now, imagine this. Imagine having a Kyle Pitts on one side. Imagine having a Drake London. Okay. Then, Mooney and Ray McLeod, most likely Ray's gone. So that's somebody you ain't got to worry about. Mooney, maybe. Okay. Now you go get that wide receiver that can take the top off of defense. Okay. You free up Kyle and Drake. Not to mention then you got Bijan. What happens if you either go get which is, I would say, highly unlikely as far as a running back, going to get a running back similar to Bijan. Most likely you would get a running back like him out of the draft, more so than free agency. Now, Coach, correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't seen any running backs outside of him, Saquon, and Derrick Henry that do what they do at their levels.
Correct.
Especially for a good price.
Correct.
So I'm saying you would probably get, you probably draft, a running back, what I'm saying, that could be versatile like Bijan.
But why we need to draft? We already got him on the bench.
Oh, that's right. Dude. So basically, you're talking about bringing him on and developing it. So I keep forgetting that, but right. So like Coach said, you got somebody else that already fits that category on the team. So now all you really focus on is you go out and you get the deep threat. Now you got a dynamic 6-man rotation. 2 of which the only rookie on that rotation right now would be that wide receiver. Somebody to take the top off of defense, somebody to kill the middle, somebody to kill the seams, 2 running backs that can catch out of the backfield, both of which one is a nightmare for all teams in the league, and the other one is on the team. All he got to do is just get warmed up. What do you do now? Because now you got a quarterback that can get him the ball, not afraid to get him the ball, ain't gonna put it where they want it. So my question to everybody is, who do you think we can do without? Kyle Pitts or Tyler Algier? That's my question. That's why I said there can only be one. Because somebody got to go. Now, I like Tyler a lot, but I believe wholeheartedly that the way this offense is going to be shaped, yes, we're going to have a run game, but more or less, they're going to really try to lean on Mike Penix's throwing ability. Right. And Jerome 69 said, Algier, it's a deep running back draft. You're right. But here's the thing Coach just said. If we already got somebody that can match Bijan's versatility on the team, then yeah, Tyler Algier is the one that in my opinion, that's gonna be gone.
But think about this also. Mike said this. I heard Mike say this yesterday on the show yesterday. All right, 2016, we had two top running backs, right? You had a Coleman, you had a Freeman.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Tyler, just imagine Tyler have a great year this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, next year he's going to get paid.
Yep.
Are you willing to pay two running backs money? Or we'd be in the same situation we were when Coleman left. Same situation.
Yeah.
He just left and we got nothing for him. So if you have the opportunity to get something for Tyler now, why not?
Right.
But you ain't gonna, like Mike said, you're not gonna pay two running backs.
No. What Coach, especially like you said, if you already got one that's similarly versatile to Bijan Robinson that's already on the team, why would you? Now you paying for three.
Now, I don't know where this happened. If Tyler said, well, I want to stay here, I'm gonna take that homeboy discount.
Only way. But then that still, now guess what you got to do? Now, if that's the case, you still got to pivot because guess what? Now you either gonna get rid of the running back that Coach was talking about, or you really about to get rid of like Mooney and Ray McLeod. Because I hate to say it, the deep threat, there's gonna be a deep threat gotten for Mike Penix. He gonna get some, because this is how we look at it now. Your quarterback is also looking at receivers that he likes. And we said this on the other show. He got a lot of pull.
We signed a wide receiver. That Malachi Pope kid, right? They say he's a speed guy, I suppose. You talking about, we may not even draft a wide receiver either, guys. So I think we're gonna deep, but you gotta have money. We got no money.
Right. So
somebody's gonna be gone. I don't think the Falcons want to get into that pissing match of restructuring people, because that's what got us in trouble before.
Right.
So you got to get rid of bodies. Like I said, people. I've been saying this for a couple of years. It ain't happened yet. One of these guys is gonna be going. It's gonna be a trade. I prefer to trade him because you get something back from the deal instead of just cutting. If you cut Tyler, you ain't gonna lose anything. But you cut Kyle, you cut Kyle, you're gonna feel it in the pocket. So Kyle has to be traded if that's the situation.
And then too, you gotta look at it. When you trade a Kyle Pitts, you just don't trade a Kyle Pitts. You really got to go out there and find somebody that's going to replace him.
Mm-hmm.
See, Kyle is not one of them players that you just trade away willy-nilly or you cut, because you're not gonna find that. Yeah, tight ends are out there, but you're not going to find that caliber of player, and we have not yet seen it because he's been having to help everybody else.
Right.
Kelsey and them, and this is what we be trying to tell you about Kelsey and the rest of them. Kelsey is unique situation because he has gelled with his quarterback. He's pretty much like Gronk was to Brady.
Exactly.
They're not gonna let when Kelsey go, Pat gon' really have to gel with somebody else because he's been around him that long. You know what I'm saying? You saw how Brady played when Gronk wasn't there. It got a little hairy for Brady at times. So I see Kyle being that kind of dude for Mike Penix. But you got to get somebody else on the field that's the threat. Because if not, all he's going to be is a clear-out guy. He's going to have to be. Because nobody else is going to garner that kind of respect. Now, I see everybody in the chat, talking about Grady or David Onyemata that need to be cut or whatever the case may be. Now, here's the caveat to that. And I want y'all to really think about this. And Jeff Ulbrich talked about it in his press conference, and everybody knows this. Whether we think Grady is up to snuff and his age is where it's at, he's that linchpin on the defense. I know he ain't the main man bull rushing people, but he is the linchpin on the defense. Yeah, you got leaders like Jesse Bates and AJ Terrell. You got some good guys on there, but he is the Atlanta Falcons defense. Always has been. Now, I'm not speaking from a fan standpoint. That's just facts on the team. With that defense, what you're gonna look to see, it ain't gonna be so much that front that's going to get a lot of rework. It's going to be that linebacker room. Y'all got to pay attention to who they're putting in place. You got a DB coach, head coach. Okay. You got a DB assistant head coach. And you got a linebacker DC. Jeff Ulbrich, whether you like him or not, whether you think he's smart or not, he wants his guys. He wants his guys in there. Now, yeah, Raheem may run the same dumb dad blame plays back to back, but best believe Ulbrich said it. He gonna take a look at the team. He gonna take a look at the defense and see what's what. If Ulbrich get another shot, he gonna want to get some guys in there that he can work with. Whether or not he work with them proficiently, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Now, David Onyemata, ain't no telling. Because look at it this way. Who were the impact players on the defense this year? Jesse Bates, AJ Terrell, at times Grady Jarrett, Caden Nellis, and up-and-coming Ebiketie. Then you had splashes of, you had splashes of other players. You had splashes of Onyemata sometimes. Eddie Goldman would take up a little bit of space here and there, But those names who I just named initially, those were literally, and then you had Matt Judon. You had Matt Judon, doing his thing periodically.
Very period.
Now he said that T. Terry says Grady now worth $20 million. I mean, hey, I'm not saying he is. I'm not saying he is, because you got to take into account if another team was looking at Grady, you have to take into account his injury. And by him being fresh off of an injury, teams look at that. Organizations look at that. So that would kind of drop it. But here's what y'all got to understand, and I'm going to keep going back to 21, 22. Think back to when we had Calais Campbell and when we had Calais Campbell on his defense. What did it do for players like Grady, David Onyemata? It freed them up to wreak havoc. We don't have that big guy in the middle or that can be switched around that frees up the other guys on the front. And this is what I keep saying. What was the difference between the numbers we had on the defense with all them sacks, besides the coaching, and during those years and during last season? I mean, Coach, correct me if I'm wrong now, because, I mean, you and I both talked about it. Calais Campbell can take 3 men by himself. What you think that did for everybody? Cade Nellis, Grady Jarrett, David Onyemata, they ate. Bud Dupree, all of them ate off of that. Why? Because one man was able to take up three guys, and everybody else was able to get out. Now, if you get a couple more pass rushers, guess what? Now you getting over 50 sacks. When we lost Calais, the first thing I was like, that pass rush ain't gonna be the same. Because everybody now Grady got to go back to trying to be that dude up the middle. And my thing was, it ain't like Goldman did a whole lot.
My problem is that our D line are too small.
Yeah.
Grady's not a 1 tech. Grady's a 3-5. That's his problem. That's the problem. Yeah, I love Grady like everybody else do. But if he's going to be trying to play the 1, he's not that guy. He's not a 1 tech guy. He's a 3-5. You got to put him over a tackle or outside of a guard. You can't play him in that middle because people get eat up every time.
Right. So Jerome 69 said, Juan and Coach, would you moonlight with a wide receiver during the combine to get a wide receiver needy team like Cincy to trade up? Now that interesting you say that, and Coach, I want you to give me your thoughts on this. I'm about to put this out there now. Every time we've been in the draft, whatever position the Falcons have held has always been a stranglehold on the whole draft.
True.
So
everybody off, yeah.
Right. So I'm looking at 15 because this is a defensive heavy draft this season coming. I mean, this year coming up.
Supposed to be.
Right. I got a good inkling that we're sitting at another stranglehold position in the draft. And in my opinion, I wouldn't be opposed to it. Like I said, you're gonna watch Terry finesse a lot of teams, especially in the draft. Why? We need draft picks. And ain't no telling who gonna fall at 15. There's no telling who gonna fall at 15.
I mean, this is the respectful draft.
Right. But I got a feeling that the Falcons are gonna trade out. They're gonna trade back and get more picks. Because it's too many. Like, I looked at the names that you was talking about, we were talking about last night, and then Coach was telling me something. It's too many names.
It's a lot of names. But the thing is, where the Falcons going to go? What position? Nobody knows. There's a lot of need and a lot of positions, especially on the defensive side. But this is Terry. Terry hasn't been consistent. Well, he's been consistent in his thoughts this whole draft. What if they go get the number 1 tight end?
Ooh.
What if they go get the number 1 tight end? This Tyler Warren kid, he is bad though. He is a bad one. He's a bad.
Talking about from Ohio?
Yeah, he's from Penn State, I think.
Oh, okay. Hey, Swole, what's the name of that player from Ohio that you're talking about? What's his makeup, Coach? The one you're talking about from Penn State. What's his makeup?
He's 257, 6'6".
Woo! So he got a Kyle Pitts-esque body.
Right, but he's one. See, I ain't want to say this, but if you guys notice, your best tight end in the game are what? White kids, right?
Yeah, right.
Not to put it this way, they work hard at that craft.
Yeah.
They work harder at their craft than their brothers do. I hate to say that, but they do.
Yeah.
That's why your top, I'm gonna say your top 10 wide receivers are majority white kids.
Okay. Swole said Jack Sawyer. You
talking about the lineman.
Yeah. You took a look at him, Coach?
Yeah, Jack Sawyer's a bad boy.
What's his credentials like?
I got my hair. I got everything. He's more like an edge rusher. He's more like an edge than a regular linebacker. Jack Sawyer. Jack Sawyer reminds me a little bit of a Bosa mixed with a TJ.
Ooh, good Lord. Bosa and TJ?
He has a mixture of that.
Oh, yeah.
He has a motor. And every white guy we drafted in the first round has been pretty decent on the defense. I'm just saying that's
I mean, if the coffee cream will work, then why not keep going with it? I mean, hey.
He is 6'5", 260.
Okay.
And he has a motor. And I can see him here. See him here.
So Jack Sawyer.
Yeah, I can see him here.
Hey, Swole, I'm gonna give you some homework. I'm gonna need you to hang on to that Jack Sawyer name, because we probably gonna end up revisiting it, especially when we get closer to the draft. So definitely hang on to that name, bro. Hang on to that name, because I'm gonna tell you, we had these same kind of conversations. Believe it or not, Coach, we had these same kind of conversations when we were talking about Ty last year when he was in New York.
Mm-hmm.
We had these same kind of conversations, and lo and behold, when he got on the team, he wrecked shop. So yeah, Jerome 6'9", he was like, y'all watch his name in free agency. Dayan, hold up.
Oh, yeah.
It says Dayan Odeyingbo.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, Odeyingbo from the Colts. So our new D-line coach had him balling when he was in Indy.
He did. Is he a free agent though? I guess he is a free agent.
Yes. Hey, and look, this is what we talking about. Right about now, and I said this right after we came out and we lost that last game against Carolina. Maybe a week to 2 weeks after that, Terry Scouts has already been out there. We've been out there. We've been out there scouting everybody to see, hey, look, this is because think about it. If I'm the general manager and we were literally I would say half a game away from walking into the playoffs, and the defense fell flat, and we just got a new DC, bruh.
This is the
yeah.
Don't get so tied up in drafting an edge guy. Because I'm gonna tell y'all something. I see a free agent that may come to Atlanta. 9-time Pro Bowler.
Who's that, Coach? Who you got?
Khalil Mack.
You know what, Coach? You know what? And we were talking about that. I know a lot of people are not really high on Khalil Mack, I guess because of his age, but
so was Dwight Freeney. What's older?
hey, look, Coach, I ain't arguing. I'm just saying, Dwight was that dude now. Dwight was that dude.
Listen, I'm gonna say this right here. They're the same. I think they're close to the same age when, but I think close to the same age when Dwight came here. Think about this. This year, like I told you guys earlier, this year here, last year remind me a lot of 2015.
Yeah, it does.
This year, right now, in the same situation, reminds me a lot of 2016. We needed linebacker help that year. What do we got? We drafted 2 linebackers in 2016.
Yeah, we did. So
and you brought in a free agent that was established, who is Dwight Freeney.
So basically what you're saying is we got a Julio size tight end. We got a Julio size wide receiver. We got a dynamic running back who is a 2-man wrecking crew, and then you can add somebody to him. We got a young,
better. This is the better version of that group.
Yeah, because Freeman was shifty. Freeman was a smaller version of Bijan. Yeah, definitely. Because Coleman was Tyler Algier. Coleman was the battering ram. Coleman would run through the line and carry 4-5 guys on his back. So yeah, he Tyler Algier.
He was
Yeah.
one cut and go. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He wasn't that shifty guy. That was Freeman. So you got Bijan shifty. Bijan gonna make you miss. But what we're saying is before you really see and in my thoughts from what I have seen from Terry, this is what you're gonna see. The Falcons are gonna cut a lot of low tier players. So yeah, they're gonna cut a lot of low tier players to try to get people like okay, I hate to say it, Ray and Mooney may be gone because guess what? They produced a lot. So that's a finesse item. Now a lot of y'all might disagree with me, but hear me out. Those are finesse items. Whether they get picked up, they're not gonna get picked high, but they could get picked well enough to where that can kind of give us a little bit more money. Terry's gonna start replenishing the cap. Once he gets money to operate with, that's when you're going to see him do a lot of damage in free agency. So we're going to cut players first to put money on the books. That's not going to count against us. And if we need to, we're going to trade somebody that's going to put money on the books so it don't count against us. Then what you're going to see is Terry's going to go get his scouts, send them out, free agency, see what we can get. If we can get a veteran like Khalil Mack on a little bit of money, we gonna do it. Because remember now, everybody will say, "Well, such and such ain't gonna come here for that amount of money." You might be right, but remember now, Calais Campbell came here because he liked who was on the team.
Well, plus, our boy told him a good story.
Yeah. So you got to be able to sell yourself. So. Even though we had the season we had, there's no telling who want to play for us. So you got to lean on that too.
And another thing, I think I heard Joe Mike show also. Who do we have on this team right now that is very valuable that we can get picked for in a trade? Not count Cal, not count Tyler. There's somebody else.
Who you got, Coach?
Darnell Mooney. With the year he just had, that's why I piggyback off you said. With the year he just had, you can get something from Mooney.
Yep. Y'all hear me out. I know y'all ain't gonna like it, but y'all hear me out. Yeah, he got a contract. Yes, but if right now you need money, he's a play. Man, what 1,000 yards? That's the thing.
8 yards away.
Yeah. Hear me out. Guess what this does? When you got players like Ray McLeod and Darnell Mooney getting 1,000 yards, almost a piece, you know what that tells everybody else. You know that tells players like Khalil Mack. You know that tells players like let's just say for instance. Hey, Coach, just throw out an offensive weapons name out there that may be in free agency.
Or this year?
Yeah.
Oh, from the Falcons or anybody?
Anybody.
Let me see. Okay, I got it right here. Free agent. You got T. Higgins. Okay.
Hypothetically, okay, we throw out there. You got like somebody like T. Higgins. What players look at is this. I'm on a 6-man rotation with Bijan Robinson, Drake London, and Kyle Pitts. Okay, I just seen two receivers get 1,000 yards because you know they're gonna bump it up. I just seen two receivers on that Atlanta Falcons team get 1,000 yards in one season. That lets me know that looks good on my career if I go over there. You know what I'm saying? That's the way they're thinking. So other teams is like, dang, he went over to the Falcons and balled out and got 1,000 yards this season. We need that on our team. because you got to look at it from both sides of the fence. Teams are looking at Mooney like, we need a guy like him. And players are looking like, I want to go over there so I can get my 1,000 yards like him.
Mm-hmm.
That's what y'all got to look at. This is the mind. I'm trying to put y'all in the mindset of a GM. A GM is looking at it from both sides of the fence like, we got two great players right now on our squad that we can dangle in front of teams that need wide receivers. And we can stamp the asterisk, hey, you see, these men are 1,000-yard receivers. Now that kind of bumps their stock up a little bit. But at the same time, we got players on teams that probably don't want to be there. Like, I want to go over there and play for them. Because you go over there and play for them, bro, you could probably get you 800 to 1,000 yards. That's going to look good on your resume. Because players is always constantly thinking about, how can I get paid? You know what I'm saying? So that's the advantage that the Falcons got, because every time a player comes here, they blossom. Even if they're in the twilight of their career, they blossom. And then other teams want them. You got to think. Calais Campbell came here and got his 100 sacks on his career. You see what I'm saying? And when everybody was saying, "Oh, Calais Campbell, he old." Yeah, but he blossomed here for what he did, and then he left. So you can use that as leverage. When you ain't got money, you got to lean on being able to get people to look at the team like, yeah, I want to be over there. Right, and you're right. The smoke X, he was eight away. Yeah, think about that. And then T. Terry said, M. Parsons interview Bijan today for HBO. Parsons like the Falcons. Bijan can get him to Atlanta. Yeah. Also,
do you want that headache?
What, talking about Parsons?
Yeah. Well, he's a beast on the field, but it's the after. Atlanta's different than Dallas.
Right.
You come to
they
Atlanta.
have a camaraderie. They have a respectable camaraderie type atmosphere.
Right.
All right. King Richie said Mooney a number one anywhere else. Right. See, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, King. That's what I'm talking about.
And y'all favorite man couldn't get him the ball like that. Why is that? I'm just curious.
Well, and this is what I said. This is what I said. A lot of quarterbacks are what I call routine quarterbacks. Okay. And Brady is one of them. Okay. Pay very close attention. When Brady was in New England, you had Edelman, you had Gronk, you know what I'm saying? You had a number of other plethora of players. When Brady left and decided to come back into Tampa, what did he do? The first person he called was Gronk. Said, hey, I want to run it back. I'm going to need you. Come on, man. Gronk was his security blanket. Brady brought whomever he felt he needed to get the job done. Because why? Brady is a routine quarterback, meaning that he has to have a certain set of players around him in order to be successful. If Brady thought he was that dude by himself, he would have never called anybody else to help him and brought anybody else on that Tampa team. Kirk Cousins is the same way. Kirk has more of a Minnesota ingrained mindset than he will ever have Atlanta. I don't care if his family, him and his wife are from here. Well, I don't care about that. He's a routine quarterback, and when his body began to tell on him, his mind went to the Minnesota mindset, which is, I'm looking for a person to be my Jefferson. That's what it was. If you go back and look at the film, the season before he got here, he was throwing to Jefferson. That Minnesota mindset, because they didn't have that many receivers. They didn't have that many receivers on that team. Not like Atlanta. He didn't have 6 weapons that he could choose from.
He had Addison in a very mediocre run game.
Yeah, that's it. So Jefferson had to be the offense. So when he did that, and this is why we say that 509 game is what ruined him for the rest of the season, because that's the one game where he threw to everybody. And it was such a spectacular game It's the reason why he racked up so many yards and we won that game is because he threw to everybody on the tree. He threw to everybody. That's rare. He's used to throwing to one or two people at best.
And a tight end on occasion.
Right. See, Penix, on the other hand, he's more Matt Ryan type where he don't care who the ball gets to. If you open, he gonna throw it to you. He's just more mobile. But he's not. He's even when he was in college, he didn't have tunnel vision. Whomever was open on that field, he got the ball to. That's just how he plays. He's not a routine quarterback. He's an ad-libbing quarterback. He's more like Mahomes. Mahomes likes to ad-lib. That's why, if you notice, Kansas City had a lot of weapons because Mahomes ain't the person where he just don't want to throw to just one person. Now, granted, Kelsey is his security blanket, which all quarterbacks have him, but he's not a routine guy. He likes to ad-lib. So does Mike Penix. So we're gonna have to put guys around him that can get the ball. Kirk get his back against the wall. He only focus on one. I don't care if everybody else is open around him. He gonna focus on one receiver.
Yep, that's true.
And then King Richard said, then Kirk requested Mooney, not Penix. Possibly, because you got to think about it. Before you get your quarterback, don't you study him? Because basically that's what Terry and them did. They said, before we go pick up Kirk Cousins, what year did he have before he got hurt? Okay. So they kind of knew who to put on the team because they were like, well, but they kind of thought too, well, we got so many weapons, Kirk can pick and choose who he want to throw it to.
Right.
But nobody, even the front office can't tell you how a quarterback is going to react in a game. They don't know that. All they know is what he puts on the field at the time he's practicing. But when he's in that moment, they don't know how he's going to react. And 9 times out of 10, your habits kick in.
And Justin, and talking about receivers to that degree, Justin Jefferson is one of those receivers that going to go get the ball. The ball's in the area. If it's in his area, he's going to get it.
Look. And Swole said, so that means give Pitts a pass or not? I'm going to say like this. The only way you're going to see Pitts utilized in the way you guys are expecting, you're going to have to get another deep threat to complement Kyle Pitts. And this is based on what Mad Mike showed me.
Or use a tight end like he's tight end. There's some free agent tight ends out here. I'm gonna ask everybody in this chat. What if we can bring in a Zach Ertz in here?
Ooh.
To replace a Kyle Pitts per se.
Yeah.
Or Mike Gillespie. Whatever his name. Gesicki, whatever his name is.
Whoever, it's a rudimentary thing. Whomever you take off of this team, that is of significance, you're going to have to put somebody in significantly at the same or better.
Yeah, got to. You
got to, because your quarterback has already played with a certain type. He's played with certain caliber players now. So you can't demote the next player that come in the team, because you do your quarterback a disservice. See, the thing with Mike Penix is you need speedy receivers and you need guys with hands. Why? Because Mike Penix is going to get that ball out and he's going to launch it. So you don't need, number one, you don't need receivers catching with their bodies. You need receivers that's going to catch it with their hands. Number two, you need receivers that's going to be able to go up and get it. And the perfect example is that Drake London touchdown catch where they called it back and he went right back to it. That's the kind of play you're going to expect from Mike Penix and his receivers. And here's something else that I mentioned to them, Coach. I said, think about it like this. Mike Penix is the type of quarterback that you would expect to throw end zone touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
And I use this term. The Falcons have not successfully stretched the red zone like they can. And what do I mean by that? 9 times out of 10, the Falcons usually run, pass, run till they get down into the 5. And then they'll do something to get into the end zone. Okay. With a quarterback like Penix, you stretch the red zone. So instead of it being less than 5 yards to the goal line, you stretch the red zone all the way back to almost the 15. That means that we could get down to the 20-yard line and Penix could throw a touchdown from there and not have to march any further.
Right.
So if you get a wide receiver or if you get a tight end that can go deep, now he can launch them balls when we got to go 80 yards. He can throw deeper passes, which hurries us up into the end zone. And then guess what? Now, if the teams want to try to stop the run game, we can just go over the top of them. Hey, bam, touchdown. So now what you do is you force the defense, especially the corners and the safety, you force the corners and the safety to have to work even harder because the less field you got to play with, the less they can cover. So it makes it hard, especially makes it harder for zone. It makes it harder for zone. They got to play. Usually, coach, correct me if I'm wrong. Usually when you get down less than the 10, they start playing man, correct?
Yeah, most of the time, yeah.
Yeah, because it ain't no space for zone.
Ain't no space for zone. You're right. Yeah.
So that's my thing. The Falcons want to get that because what that does is that now with Penix getting the ball out quickly, your O-line doesn't have to work as hard. You ain't got to drop back that fast. And now defensive coordinators got to make their minds up on how they're going to play the Falcons in the red zone.
Another thing, people
Terry, you on top of it.
They're gonna actually play what's called wrong because he can run, guys.
Yeah.
So we want those guys to play those man to man to turn their backs so Penix can sneak out the back, especially when you're within the 10. He can get in the end zone for 10 yards out. We know this already.
Yeah. And T Terry, man, I love this comment right here. You actually brought up a topic that OG Sam was talking about in the chat this afternoon. He brought it up. He said Mike Penix is like a modern day Warren Moon. And bruh, you hit it right on the head. You hit it right on the head. Corey Gifford said, hot take, I would trade Mooney. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility, man. It's not.
He's worth.
It's not.
He has worth.
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to. I heard a comment today. They're talking about they said something about the fans for the Falcons. They're celebrity. Their popularity stricken.
Yes.
They don't think about winning. They like popularity.
Yeah, they do.
I'd rather be popular than win. I'd rather be exciting than win.
Look, and Jerome 6'9", he said Penix equals a mobile moon. Yeah. I mean, think about it like this: the young man is cerebral. The young man can read defenses very well. The young man, he has that innate skill. He knows how to look off safeties and trick them into following what he's going to do. And then he gets the ball out quick. He's accurate and he has no fear.
And the advantage he has, he's left-handed.
Right. Which means he's unorthodox.
Yes. You're gonna see something. He's looking at something, but he can throw the ball totally different where you're looking at. So.
And that's the thing. So and that is the reason why. And I appreciate Mike hitting us up with that tidbit, because a lot of the drops that we had were because the receivers were not used to the force of that ball he was throwing. And this is the reason why. This is another reason why you really don't want to switch quarterbacks in one season, because when you start out with a quarterback throwing a certain way in the first half of the season, your muscle memory, after so many games, your muscle memory kicks in and knows that my quarterback's going to throw it this way. He's going to throw it this force. It's going to float like this. It's going to spin like this. So a lot of your weapons get used to catching it that way. Mm-hmm. A lot of them had to readjust because, they practice with Mike Penix, but you got to understand something. Well, if I'm throwing you a ball in practice and I know you're not trying to really knock my block off, I don't put as much zip on it, because I'm not trying to really get it out. I'm gonna get it out so it look good for the coaches. But when I'm in the game and I know this other team is trying to knock my block off, oh bro, I'm gonna throw it with everything I got. So you got to be ready to catch it. So, and that's why we're saying, in order for him to become that dude, that quarterback, he's gonna have to have guys in the wide receiving core, or even, receivers period, tight end or whatever. He's going to have a guy that can get it with their hands. And this is why we need to get Kyle Pitts more involved with this offense, because Kyle can go up and get it with his hands. Brian People said Atlanta fans had a white man can't jump my set. They want to look good and lose. Coach, what in the world?
They so pretty.
You're right though, man. I'm gonna get this flashy player. He ain't worth a damn. He ain't worth a damn. What'd he do? Boy, that boy missed all them catches. Boy, he showed he looked good running down the field. I tell you what.
We just got to be ready. We just got to be ready for whatever comes, because I don't know what Terry's gonna do. I really don't. He hasn't given us any type of inkling what the hell they're gonna do. But I know one thing: they do have to improve on our defensive side of the ball, because, like I said, the offense ain't the problem.
Yeah. Here again. Here you go. When your front seven, front five, however you got, whatever your scheme is getting home, and this is something I argued with somebody about on the show. When your front can get home, all your linebackers have to do is keep contained. Hear me clearly. When your front seven can get home, your linebackers, all they have to do is keep contained. Your DBs in the back don't have to do as much.
We had heavy foot linebackers.
Right.
Our linebacker was heavy footed. They have no flexibility in their side to side movement. That kills us a lot.
Right. I'm going to get this question here, Coach. He said, so who wins wide receiver 3, Ray or Rondell?
Rondell is guys, y'all got to realize Rondell is not on the team anymore. Rondell is a free agent.
Yeah.
He only signed 1 year. That year is over now.
Yeah. So he right now you would have Ray, but the question is, if it goes between Ray and Mooney, number one, Ray gonna be gone. I'm just gonna tell you. They
definitely gonna keep Mooney.
Yeah. They're gonna keep Mooney over Ray. I'm gonna say that all day. But what Coach was saying about the defense, and yeah, you're right, T-Terry. He said Moon went to Washington in college just like MPJ. Yes. Hey. And then Georgia Texas boy was talking about Casey Washington. I
think he'll see time next year. Because he's one of those possession guys, and I think it'll work for the Falcons what they do.
Yeah. And Jerome 6'9", he said Oberg gonna change that, coach. We doubt.
Most
we
definitely.
doubt. Yeah. We about to get fast alignment. Yeah, because yeah. So what I was saying is, if your front seven gets home, your linebackers, all they got to do is basically contain. They just fill up the gaps to make sure if the quarterback gets past one of those guys, that they're the second line of defense. Your DBs is like your last line of defense. Now, when you got a defense where the linebackers are the bulk, they're the ones doing the bulk of the stopping, and your front seven ain't getting home like that, that's more of a problem, because if you got linebackers that can't cover, that's kind of like the situation we're in. You know what I'm saying? Because our front is inconsistent. Even if it's the scheme or whatever, when your personnel, and I'll put it like this, and Coach, you can back me up on this one. If you don't have the men up front, and you're going to try to scheme it to where your DBs and your linebackers have to help, you got to make sure you put them in the right position in that scheme to help. If I know my linebackers can't cover, I'm putting my DBs up close to the line so that they can cover and my linebackers can kind of play contain. I'm never gonna have, if I know my linebacking core is not that good, I'm never gonna have my DBs way back like that. Because here's the thing, and I keep saying this: if you get to the quarterback, there's no deep play to be had. And even if you don't get him on the ground, if you pressure him, you're gonna be able to make a play. Why? Because you're gonna force him to throw the ball in an awkward position. Now, I mean, Coach, what's your take on that?
The Falcon was funny about that. If you notice, when the Falcons pressed, we had more sacks.
Mm-hmm.
But once we stopped pressing, it seemed like we gave up more big play.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. It's because the front four wasn't getting home.
Right.
See, when you press the front four, that's how the sack. Like I said, that's how the sacks elevated because of the press coverage.
Yep. What up, Kev?
What's happening?
Good morning,
man. Your phone was hating.
That shit died on my. Good googly moogly. I'm about to say, you motherfucking.
Your phone went to sleep.
Yeah, man, my phone went to hibernation mode. That's what it did.
Hey, Kim. Hey, man. We still on the topic. We were talking about because Corey get 5, man, and Jerome was talking about we talking about the wide receivers and stuff like that, and then now we're talking about the defense. But in your opinion, we were talking about the linebackers.
Okay.
The linebackers. Because, and like I was saying, go ahead, Coach.
You ain't got to worry about but one linebacker now. Because I can almost, I ain't going to say I'm going to guarantee it, but there's a 90% chance that German Sherwood's coming with your boy. He's a free this year.
Oh, really? You think he coming here, Coach?
He loves that coach.
Hey. And see, that's what I'm saying, guys. And K-Style, you could back me up on this, man. Anytime you get a different coach, you bring players with them, especially if they've been in the league a long time. Jimmy Lake can't bring nobody with him because he was just getting his feet wet. Okay, so you can't. He don't count. But Ulbrich been in the league long enough to where he got players that's willing to follow him if he can get them on the team. And we always say, and this is why we tell y'all when we try to holler out, yeah, we don't like Raheem and he should be fired, which in my opinion he should be. But at the same time, when you bring in another coach, you bring other players and other philosophies. Now, whether that does well for the team or not, you're not going to have the same rotation of players throughout the team. It's going to be different.
There's a lot of bodies out there. There's a lot of linebackers out there that are free agency.
That's an interesting point. So Coach Morris have hired his best friend who might be his replacement, blank likes Jeff better.
We don't know that.
We really don't know that.
Because
time will tell.
Raheem is friends with the son, guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna say this word, and y'all not gonna like it. And it's frowned upon in the workplace. But fraternizing with the owners, fraternizing with the owners pays off. I hate to say it.
When you heard Raheem say we was on the boat. We ain't talking about the Mayflower. We talking about I should have said that.
Coach, look, I'm sorry. I got the picture in my head. Like I got the picture in my head when you said that.
That was the DEA. That was the DEI hire.
Right. We're going to include you.
I'm about to say, it sounds like a Titanic ride right there.
Yeah.
Come on, hanging off the edge of the boat.
Exactly.
Sir.
I'm flying.
They
I'm flying.
tell us where Raheem at? Where Blake's son at? Up, boy, they up there on the stern. There they go.
Hey, Duke Riley's available.
Hey.
You said who's available, coach?
Duke Riley.
Son Duke Riley, coach. Oh man, Jerome said, speaking of getting their feet wet, I think Zach Robinson gonna find a way to use Pitts. The Rams offense didn't feature the tight ends a lot. Just me wishful thinking. You might be on to something though. You might be on to something. Cause Kev, we brought this up. Remember we were talking earlier, we were talking about that deep threat.
Mm-hmm.
Zach, the one thing coordinators like Zach Robinson do once you have like a year under your belt doing offensive coordinating, you can go back and watch film and see where you made your mistakes, but you can also go back and see where you have opportunities to do new stuff. And I believe Zach Robinson they had to hold back certain plays from Kirk Cousins because they, like I said, they knew he couldn't move. So you had to dumb down the offense. So being able to have a quarterback that's multifaceted like him, yeah, he gonna open up a lot. They gonna open up we gonna see plays we ain't seen in a minute come out.
But it's another fun thing we talking about the offensive coordinator. He does scheme the play up, right?
Right.
But the quarterback still has to make the right decision.
Right.
There was a whole bunch of time Kirk looked at Kyle Pitts wide open, didn't go and look another way.
Mm-hmm.
But you can actually see it. It's like Kyle was open. He was actually open a lot more than what people think, or the ball just wasn't going there. That's quarterback decision right there.
And that's why I double back to what I said. Mm-hmm. Kirk was he was a habitual quarterback. When he got into certain situations, his habits kicked in. He went back with that Minnesota mindset, and that's why I was like, Kyle Pitts is open, but you over here looking at, because what you're doing is Kyle Pitts wasn't his Jefferson. That's the whole problem. And I'm gonna tell you, the touchdown between Kyle Pitts and Kirk Cousins when Kyle was just standing in the end zone, that would have been more often than not had Kirk not gotten into his I'm searching for my Jefferson. Mooney was his Jefferson. I hate to say it. Darnell Mooney was his Jefferson. Kirk picked him out. That's why he kept hitting him. If you go back and look at what is it, 2022, 23, Kirk Cousins in Minnesota.
His first 8 games where he got hurt, they killed us.
Yeah, look at where Jefferson was catching the ball. Jefferson would catch the ball in the same spot Mooney would catch it. The difference with Jefferson and Mooney is Jefferson could go a little bit further. Jefferson was one of them end zone. He was one of them guys that could stretch the red zone. You know what I'm saying? If y'all go back and look at that, remember them fields we was looking at, Kev?
Mm-hmm.
When they put when we was looking at Kirk Cousins, you had a few times where Jefferson would get it in the end zone, but most of the time Jefferson was catching it across the middle of the field the same way Mooney was. So Mooney was his Jefferson. Kyle wasn't his Jefferson. Kyle was just out there.
The only thing that I will say is it's going to be dependent on what this off season looks like to me.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main thing.
That's going to be the main thing, because if they go out here, rather in free agency or in the draft, get a wide receiver or tight end. Like you said, Pitts is about as good as gone.
Mm-hmm. Him or Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
Him or Tyler, because like Coach said, and like y'all have said repeated times, we already got somebody that's secondary to Bijan on this team as far as a running back.
Right.
And if they now, in my opinion, I think the first guys that would be gone would be Ray and Mooney. They would be the first guys to go if the trade to get some money or trade to get some picks. I think it will go Ray Mooney, and then Tyler, and then Kyle Pitts. I believe Kyle Pitts would probably be the last person they would probably look to trade.
Mm-hmm.
He would be the last, but Ray and Mooney gonna be the first two because they just racked up.
So. I don't think so.
You don't think so, Coach?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I mean,
the first person I think they would give a, unless somebody come in with some great offers for Kyle Pitts. Kyle ain't gonna be your first, but I think Tyler would be your first. Tyler would get you. There's a lot of people that need running backs. A lot of people need running backs. So.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Georgia Texas boy said, "What's y'all thoughts on Jay Sherwood, linebacker from the Jets?"
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, young draft pick who they developed was just behind C. Mosley and Key Williams.
No, he took Mosley's job, so he went behind there. He took his job. He went behind him. He took his job.
What did he say on South Park? They took the game.
Yeah, no. Sherwood took Mosley's job.
So, question, Coach, what's Jay Sherwood like? Is he good at covering?
He's good at everything.
Yeah, he's a better cover linebacker than what the fuck we got.
Yes.
Yeah, put him on the team, damn it. I don't care.
Yeah, he said he hate to see what's going to go. He's a free agent right now, so we can swoop down and talk to him like tomorrow.
So okay. Good question. If he is available and we get him, what moves what moves you think are gonna be made on the defense? Do you pair him up with Caden Ellis? Because I know Judon ain't gonna be there. If he come in there, if Sherwood coming in, he the dude. I don't see Judon being there. So do you pair him with Caden Ellis?
You may see. You would have to.
Okay, yeah. Sherwood 6'2", 220. He can cover. I would pair him with Caden Ellis.
If he comes in, somebody else can probably be going too.
Yeah.
I think what's going to happen. I think with Caden Ellis, they might, like I said, they might revert him back to his starting pass rusher role outside.
Yep.
Okay. But that's where he excels. So okay.
So what they'll do, what I think is going to happen is they may pair Ellis
with Ebiketie.
Bingo.
And I think they may give Troy Anderson one more shot
if he can stay healthy.
And they'll probably pair him with Sherwood if he comes in.
So another question too, I want to throw in there. Okay, so say you get Sherwood, okay, and then you got Caden Ellis. You pair Caden Ellis with Ebiketie. Where does Trice fit in all of this?
Him and Ebiketie gonna be those third down rushes on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So now, Coach. Now I'm trying to put this together like a chess game. So now, with that being said, do you go get a true nose tackle for the front line?
I would.
You're damn right.
So now you freeing up. So we don't get rid of Onyemata and Grady. You free up Onyemata and Grady. What you have a true nose tackle?
I'm sorry. One of those guys gonna be gone.
Onyemata or Grady?
One of those guys is gone. You can't keep both those guys and still have Rook and what's called sit on the bench.
I would say David Onyemata probably would be gone then. I don't see them getting rid of. I think Grady would be a last resort unless it's just about money.
It is about money. We ain't got none.
True, but like I said, you know how Terry do. Terry like to do that dollar. He like to do that Dollar Tree shopping. He want to get rid of the dude. Terry usually gets rid of the guys unless they really trying to hit hard in the draft. Terry gonna get rid of the low tier guys first.
I don't know, bro. Not
He
not now you
because
get $14 million and come out of salary cap hell for one person.
well, no, because see what I'm saying is if if your mindset is to do damage in free agency, yeah, you got to get money, you got to get out of that cap hell in order to operate. But what I'm saying is you get the guys that, okay, let's say, all right, think about it. If you get somebody like that, are you gonna miss David Onyemata?
No.
That's what I'm saying. You're not gonna you trying to get rid of the players, you're not really gonna miss their play. That's still serviceable. Before you get rid of the players that's going to impact your defense. See, because remember now, the game he has to play right now is now. Don't get me wrong, Terry's crafty, but he got less room to maneuver because of the fact that the team isn't that bad. It's just missing a few pieces. So if you go in there and start ripping stuff out, you're gonna do yourself a disservice. Because at the end of the day, whether we want to admit it or not, it's all about the welfare of our quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't go in there tearing the core out unless you really sure you can put something in there that's gonna make a immediate impact. So you start peeling off the outside first. Okay, you wasn't really significant this year. We're gonna let you go while you still got some, tread on. And then as you work your way in, you like, okay, can I afford to let this one go? Because he's an impact player. Can I afford to let him go? And can I get somebody to put him in his place? So because like I said, that's why we're going to have to lean on free agency, and they're going to be leaning on relationships. This is the part where you got to sit down and negotiate with people because you ain't got no money. You can't just go kick down the door and say, give me that one. It ain't going to work.
Yeah, because the biggest contrast that they have of concern right now is Grady, is Caleb McGarry, David Onyemata, Jake Matthews. Oh, those really the four major contracts that they probably gonna have we're gonna have to pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing is, and I think Jerome here said it here. Dahlman is going to be a key thing to look at as far as the Falcons and free agency.
Yep.
Because Coach said we're 11 million in a hole right now. And in order for you to get above that cap like that, think about it. You're 11 million in a hole, and you have 24 unrestricted. You got 24 free agents leaving this year.
That's off the 53-man roster.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Now on top of that, now think about it. Something else that the Falcons do have in their back pocket as I don't want to say trump cards, but as ace of spades. Like I said, we got players that were injured, and we got players that can be developed that have not had a chance to really play. So those 4 contracts, yeah, those are the ones you look at first, because that's the first thing Terry's probably going to look at to see who, like I said, who we can afford to get rid of that will not be missed as far as production.
Okay. I'm going to say this. Y'all can cuss me out. I don't give You can afford to lose Grady, guys. I hate to say that. You can.
I mean, at this point in time, you got to do what you got to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
You got to do.
I'm telling you, if you look at the limited snaps that Rook had, every snap he was in was impactful. Every one he played in was impactful.
So what you trying to say is you think Rook is being groomed to be the next Grady Jarrett?
I mean, the thing is, in the last 3 drafts, you drafted 8 defensive linemen and pass rushers. You drafted damn near 7 to 8 of them.
By D'Angelo Malone, you won't be there next
year.
Right. And then, like you said, and you think about this past season, you rarely saw any of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Outside of Evan Kenny, you've rarely seen any of them.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
it's gonna get to a point now where, okay, is this
Yep.
going to be the year that you're going to unleash them and finally use them to the fullest? And if that is the case, yeah, Grady becomes more extendable if that is the plan.
yeah, I can agree with that. Like I said, if you go because if you're gonna get because the one thing about it, if you get rid of somebody as I would say pivotal to the team as he is in terms of not play, but in terms of being in the locker room, yeah. And Mike made a good point. He said there's not really a single person on the defensive side of the ball that you're trying to build around.
Mm-hmm.
So if Rook is that dude, is the how you say the next Grady Jarrett on the team, then something you gotta have a person to really build around on their defense.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to.
Right.
You
That's
gotta
it.
think. Grady came in. Grady was drafted on the team with a bunch of. He was drafted on the team with a bunch of veterans. He was just that side guy.
Okay, I got a question for y'all. Okay. That's a great point. Think about 2000. We're gonna go back to 2016. I'm just because it's so similar. You built the defense around your offense because your offense is gonna score a lot of points. You built the defense. You built the defense just to hold games down. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And if we had that this year, because we scored a lot of points, we scored some points, we could have won some games. But we didn't have the defense to make that crucial stop when it's needed. And that's why what your boy said, he said, we're not gonna be like this it was a shot at Dan Quinn. I don't know if you guys heard it. He said, we're gonna know how to adjust when we see things change up.
Mm.
He said it. He said it. I don't know if you guys caught it. He said in 2016 we didn't adjust fast enough. We played the same the whole game.
Yeah, coach, you know what? You're right, because that's what he was like. That's when he said you need some variety. You can't continue to play the same scheme over and over. And this is the reason why. Now, and I know Mike and them didn't like it, but Kev, correct me if I'm wrong if I haven't said it enough. I said, do not be surprised. Yes, Raheem going to probably try to do the same thing. Two things that stuck out to me about Aubrey. Do not be surprised if you see something different on the strength of the fact that this man came into the press conference calling people out. He called out Raheem. He called out Dan Quinn. He called him out. Now, whether that translates to the game, I don't know. But he called him out. But here's the deal. Did you see that same kind of stuff going on in New York?
Robert Sala's defense was nasty though.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So I look at it like this: if you've been around Robert Saleh, and take this for what you want. If he'd been around Robert Saleh, and he said, "I'm not the same guy I was when I left here," look who picked Robert Saleh back up. So you gotta see how stuff is flowing.
They didn't want him to go anywhere.
Robert Saleh is now back with the 49ers. Okay? He back with the 49ers. Who's on the 49ers? Shanahan.
Well, Kyle Shanahan know his job is on the damn line. So
Right.
He gave Robert Saleh a big head text.
Right.
He gave a lot of money too, bro.
Right. So guess what? If Robert Saleh didn't have any credence to quote unquote try to save Kyle Shanahan's ass, they wouldn't have called him. Now, I'm not saying Jeff Ulbrich is here to save Raheem's ass because I'm sorry. There ain't too much that can save his ass anyway. I don't care. Unless you brought Belichick here, that'd probably be the only thing that would save him. But I can see Robert Saleh I can see Jeff Ulbrich getting into it with Raheem because of the simple fact that Raheem's gonna fall into that tendency of, oh, we're gonna run the same thing until it works. And Raheem's probably like, hey, bro, look, this ain't working. So I can see them getting into it.
I actually think Raheem. I think because they respect each other so much, I think it's gonna be a good working relationship. That's just my point of it. I don't think because Jimmy, like you said earlier, Jimmy Lake was
he was a do boy.
Yeah, he was a he. You know what? He probably hold on. Maybe he was just that placemat.
Yeah.
You know, and he was probably waiting on what, because like what Jeff said, we're gonna run this back.
Yeah.
He said I want to run this back. He said we got things to finish. So.
Kev, let me ask you a question. You work in warehouse, right?
Yep.
Now, who the manager gonna listen to more? Is he gonna listen to you with the one that's got seniority, that been doing it longer, or he gonna listen to somebody that just got there yesterday?
Nah, you gonna lean on the experience.
Okay. Here's one dynamic of coaching, and coach, back me up, correct me if I'm wrong. The person, if I'm working with you as a DC, as an OC, or whatever the case may be, and you the head coach, and I've been in the trenches with you. Now let's throw the relationship out the window, but I have experience. You're gonna listen more to what I have to say because I've had more experience playing on different teams, being in the league longer than somebody that's the first time DC. Am I correct, coach?
Correct.
So that means Jimmy Lake is less likely to tell Raheem this shit ain't gonna work.
Correct.
Than Ulbrich. Ulbrich can literally stand toe-to-toe with Raheem, look him dead in the eye and say, Raheem, this shit is not working, bro. We need to change it up. And you know it. He's more apt to call Raheem on his bullshit than Jimmy Lake is.
Correct.
And Raheem being somebody that when somebody, that's like Kev and me. Kev can know, Kev be like, Juan, that's full of shit. I'm more apt to be like, yeah, Kev, you right. Because me and Kev done been in the trenches. Kev know me. He's known me longer than, say, somebody that just came in the group. He'll be like, what? If you don't shut up, Kev gonna be like, can't nobody new just come in and say, man, K-Styles, man, that's fucked up, man. You know you wrong. Kev like, hold up, what? What?
Who you be?
They're right. Nigga, you have 7 seats. We didn't fought and paid the price. We talking about. So I'm less likely to shun Kev off because Kev know me. So I'm like, all right, Kev, all right, you know, I'm on my shit. Let's see what you got. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I said early on, yeah, Ulbrich is under the assumption of him being a do boy, but at the same time, if that man has changed like he said, because you got to think, your words in the beginning gonna get you fired in the end. So if Ulbrich has changed like he said, when Raheem go to trying to do that soft zone all the time, and we didn't got ran down on us 5 times, bro. No, bro, you gotta cut that out. Because now Ulbrich should not be letting Raheem have his linebackers in coverage. If you were the linebackers, if you was a linebacker, a former linebacker, and you a DC, and you allow your head coach to run your linebackers down the field in coverage, you gonna be fired.
Well, it depends. It depends. Linebackers are supposed to be able to cover a running back at the back. They're supposed to be able to cover a running back.
Yeah. But
wide receivers, that ain't what they're supposed to be doing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I put it like this. If you are a competent DC, there's no way in the world, if you know Ellis and Judon are more of pass rushers, they shouldn't be covering.
But the thing about defenses is what offensive coordinators do. They find the matchup. So sometimes it just happens. It's gonna happen.
Right.
So those guys just got to do the best they can because it happens. You see it. Every team does it. Every team have a mismatch somewhere.
Yeah. But see, and that's why I've been studying the games with Kansas City with Andy Reid. that is the case, and coach, you're right. That sometimes them situations do come up. That's why your DB you should bring your DBs up.
Well, you should have flat-foot linebackers anyway.
That too. Because each tier of the defense is supposed to cover the other. So if you know your linebackers can't cover like that, you bring your DBs up because they're faster. That's what they do. If I know I got cement feet linebackers, y'all need to keep contained. That's it. You just make sure them gaps is not available for that mobile quarterback. Or you just make sure that those gaps are not available to the running backs. If need be, you put one, maybe two, say one safety or one corner out in the back just in case. You bring them other two up. You know what I'm saying? You don't have them 5 yards off their targets, and then you get mad when they dink and dunk you to death. I'm just saying. Now you got Judon looking like a big girl chasing a chicken bone. So come on now.
And DeMar Harris out here guarding motherfucking running backs out the backfield and shit. Like, what are we doing here?
They got caught in them what's got the okie doke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because they tried to overcomplicate the zone blitzes and thinking that you was about to get home. Problem is you didn't get home.
Well,
right.
They talk that play with Justin. He wasn't covering Justin. He was dropping to a zone. He just ain't fast enough to drop that fast.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like he was covering Jefferson. He was in the zone and Jefferson beat the zone.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
But see, the thing is, a lot of times, man is a lot better because number one, you can cover everybody. Number two, you can be aggressive.
Plus,
Zone,
you can put the right person on the right person. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So you can because see, man forces the quarterback to have to figure out who he can get the ball to. So that allows your front to get to him a lot quicker. It makes him hold the ball. Zone, you got to have that front to be able to get at him quick enough to where he can't get the ball out. So that means that you leave your DBs free to roam around. But if you can't contain, it doesn't matter. Unless you got some good linebackers, it don't matter.
Okay, so coach, I got a question for you and Juan too. Okay, so let's just say in the event that it's not MK, but it's Yamada and or Grady Jarrett that is out. Who do you think would be the best suitable replacement for that defensive line that can improve this defense?
Bring it in or already here?
So I would say if they wanted to bring somebody
in.
Bring somebody in. Off the streets or
however they do it. However you think.
I got one guy. I got two guys, I think.
Who you got, Coach?
Jared Reed from the Seahawks.
Okay.
Or Greg Gaines from the Buccaneers.
Huh.
Okay. Because I'm trying. Because we got to start trying to place and put these puzzles here.
It's a lot
because,
of puzzles.
it's a lot of decisions that got to be made. Because, like I said, your biggest concern in free agency right now is Drew Dahlman.
Yeah.
Because Ryan Newsel is a free agent too.
So, in my opinion, I believe they'll keep Dahlman. I believe they'll keep Dahlman because the thing you got to look at, and I've been saying it, the last thing you want to do is get your quarterback a center that's not experienced. If you're going to get rid of Dahlman, somebody in front of him needs to be experienced. You can't put no rookie in front of him. That's not going to work. I'm sorry. In my opinion, and I'm down that hill. If Mike Penix is going to have the season we think he can have, the main person on that O-line that needs to have more experience than anybody else need to be the center. Because if that center is a rookie, you basically setting yourself up for failure for the whole season.
Okay. I got another point. We got a kid that we drafted the same year we drafted Bergeron.
Who's that?
What's that kid name? Oh, I gotta find
Javon Gwynn.
Javon Gwynn. Yeah. What do y'all think?
Mm.
He has been working as a center.
My thing is, would they trust him in that role? Like you said, that's the
And he the
that's
backup.
the question mark.
That's the $1 million question. You're right about that.
Yeah, that's a question because, like you said, would they be willing to keep him as a backup?
But the Falcons ain't going to get I don't think they're gonna go first round and get no center. I don't see.
No. I don't see that either.
No.
Because the problem is, I'm looking at it from the standpoint of who were the issues on the offense. It wasn't the center.
It was nobody actually. It was
That's what I'm saying.
It was the quarterback. Yeah.
But right, you see, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm in the mindset of the Falcons are going to work from the defense forward. The last thing they're going to touch is the O-line because they're looking at it like, here's the deal. If not Penix, who? We ain't got nobody else. So with this young man, we got to get this right. We got to get this right. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. He got to be protected. So I'm saying, being smart, work from the defense forward. Take out who you need, replace them, work that out. Get this young man some more weapons if he needed, but do not go fooling with that O-line unless you putting some impact players on there that's going to add to it, or you got some rookies that can be brought along by the veterans that is already on there. Because you start picking and pulling people out of there, I'm telling you, Penn is going to be how he was in that championship game. Penn is going to be running around in the backfield for his life, and you don't want that.
But I'm going to say this right here. Somebody going to throw some money at Drew Dolman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's a top 5 center, guys. And you got to pay those guys. You got to pay them.
Yeah, like I said, in my mindset, I'm kind of prepping for that myself. Yeah. So, like you said, that's why I have to start looking at alternatives on certain things.
Y'all don't think Newsom can do it?
He can with enough time, because the thing is, Newsom, I would be more comfortable with Newsom than Gwynn right now, simply for the fact that he played. He played a couple games.
The thing with Newsom is not a great run blocker.
He's not that. You're right.
He's really not that great in the run game.
Yeah.
Like, he's okay. But like you said, that we already know the pillars of this team that they want to build on, especially offensively, is Penix, Bijan, and Drake London. Yeah. These are quoted to be the big 3 right now.
Right. Everybody else plays off of that.
Mm-hmm. And the thing about it is, if you're looking at a center replacement, like you said,
there's some free agents out there.
It's a lot of decent free agents out there. That's if they don't re-sign Drew Dolman.
Correct.
Right. And you know what? And that's something to look into. That's really something to look into, because, to be honest with you, a good center can define your rookie season.
Shit. We learned in 2016 that a good damn center can turn your offense from shit to great.
So yeah. So for instance, you can tender Drew Dolman for a 2nd round pick, or right to the freezer pick for 5.2.
Okay.
And John Sinclair said this right here. He said Newsom has some of the weaknesses that Dolman had 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. But see that, and that goes to what we're saying. The Falcons still all right, on the defensive side of the ball, the Falcons still got to see how Braylon Trice is going to do and if he's going to stay healthy. Okay. On the offensive side of the ball, yeah, development. If we really hone in on developing some of these players, which is starting to show, you see these players, some of these players end up being great. Like, come on. Who would have thought Mooney would have got 1,000 yards, man?
Well, he had his first year.
Yeah, this first year. Yeah.
What's that kid?
Chicago?
Chicago with Nick Foles. They was like Nick Foles.
Nick Foles, another guy.
Nick Foles and Justin Fields.
Fields,
They,
right.
like I said, they went through like 3 custody.
He didn't have with Justin Fields. No.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
What's the other guy name?
Mitch Trubisky.
Mr. Biscuit, that's what it is, yeah.
Yeah, Trubisky.
Trubisky.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So when you look at that, that's why I keep saying we have a small advantage if we know how to use it. Because certain players on this team, when you start racking up 1,000 yards and multiple players start racking up 1,000 yards on either side of the ball, the teams look at them that need them, and the players looking at it from the standpoint of I can get paid.
That's what this game is about.
Yeah. So it's
contract. You don't need
look, free agency gonna be a mother.
Like I said, man, this is a very, very delicate situation, man. Like you said, we're going right into an off season in the red, which we haven't seen this team been in since 2022.
Mm-hmm. That's three.
It ain't no humongous red, but it's red.
Yeah. Like I said, you can work around that. That's what I said. At least this time around, you can work around it.
Look, I look at it like this. Terry Fontenot got my confidence because this man got us over out of a 60-some-odd million deficit in one season. And then the next season, he built the entire defense.
Right.
Free agency. So this is a blip.
Yeah, that's why I said for a lot of people that are still upset with Terry and all. Well, like you said, that's the biggest check mark or his resume right now was getting the Falcons out of a $60-70 million dead cap hit in one offseason.
Right. And then coming back the next offseason, building a defense, which made significant strides that year to now being able to do this. So listen, look, he ain't sitting at the right hand of blank for no reason. You know what I'm saying? He not. So this is a blip. The thing you're going to see is Terry going to lean on relationships, and he going to finesse a lot of teams before we get to that draft. And when we get to the draft, mark my words, 15 going to be 15 going to be in the stranglehold, bro.
Do y'all guys think we can trade Kirk Cousins?
Yeah, I mean,
that may be the goal. It's just gonna be depending on, are you gonna find somebody that's gonna be willing to take on some of that? Cause either whoever we trade him to, we still gonna have to pay a portion of the guarantees on that contract.
Correct. So
yeah,
if he was to get cut this year, we'll save $27 million this year, right?
Right.
12 in dead cap. Then that's it. We'll be done with Kirk.
So and see that's the thing.
But the thing is, geez, it's a lot of money still.
That's still a lot of money, but like you said, they may choose to spread it out. What you not?
Right.
Oh, they will.
So it may not be as bad of a hit on a yearly thing. Yeah. Well, it's still gonna be a bad hit year to year, but it ain't gonna be as bad as everybody thinks.
And then too, you got to think the further along. See, this is what another thing that people fail to realize. The further along you go into the season, the more money the team amasses. because the guy, once you get to the championship, the team gets extra money. You ever notice that? Teams like Kansas City ain't never been in the red. Why? Because they keep getting back to the championship.
They keep drafting well.
Yeah,
They keep their player development system is like top notch right now.
right, right. When you gotta keep, this is why Mike said a while back, when you gotta keep tearing the team down and rebuilding it, tearing it down, rebuilding it, that costs a lot of money. That costs a lot of money because now you're having to figure out how you're going to negotiate and mitigate contracts in order to stay afloat. Because the best thing you can hope for is if you're going to rebuild a team, you want to break even.
And
So
then the other
this is why I say Terry's going to work. He's working with a very finite area of movement because you don't want to put this team in the rebuild mode just to save money. You want to be able to keep the core of this team together while letting go of players that really weren't impactful, while keeping the impactful players and still being able to go out and get new players to add to that. That's a real tricky situation you got to maneuver through.
yeah. And then you also got to think about you got 4 or 5 draft picks this year, and 90 and was it about 70% of your draft picks are 4th round or later. You ain't got no third. You got, I think it said we got a first, a second,
We got
a fourth, and 2 sevenths. 2 sevenths.
you got number 15, I think number 46, and then you go all the way down to 117, I think, then 244.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a first, a second, a fourth, and 2 sevenths. So right now, your sources are real limited
They're
in
limited.
that
So now
aspect.
so coach, what in your opinion, and K Styles, in your opinion, I'm gonna ask both of y'all, what do you think would be the optimum amount of picks for us right now? If we can trade back and get more picks, how many picks do you think would do the Falcons okay in the draft this year?
6.
6?
Yeah.
So they're gonna need so they're gonna have to pick up. They're gonna have to pick up an extra draft pick.
Gotta pick up.
It depends on where in that order that they get that extra pick. Like you said, that's why we have to start paying attention to a lot of these guys we have on this team now. Like you said, the Tyler Algiers, the Caleb McGarrys, the Darnell Mooney's.
You saying what's called? Yeah, okay, we do got two. We got 201 and 244, I think. Is that what it is?
Okay.
That 9 times out of 10, them motherfuckers ain't making the team. So
Right. Now check this out. We lost 2 picks throughout the season. We lost one acquiring Kurt, and where did the other one go?
Judah.
Okay. So at best, being a businessman, if I'm putting my businessman hat on, I'm trying to recoup those 2 picks that I lost at best. So if coach said 6, I believe Terry gonna try to push it to 8, 7 or 8.
Only way, like you said, I think the only way that you really gonna be able to pull that off, you damn near had to trade out the first round.
That, or like I said, if this is a defensive draft and teams are looking for defensive players, you make number 15 become a stranglehold. If you make 15, if certain players look like they're gonna fall at 15, you can finesse 2 picks out of any team that want them bad enough. That's
Yeah.
why every draft, the Falcons have had a stranglehold on a position. Now, if they really got a person that they want to get, they're gonna stay there. But with knowing what we know, this year it's gonna be okay. What you gonna give me for this position? And I guarantee it ain't gonna be no less than 2 draft picks.
And the reason that I can see Atlanta actually trading out of the first round, picking up a lot of picks. Think about this. If they do that, I can see them going for a D tackle
Oh,
or a main line. I don't think they're gonna pick up a D tackle in the first round.
they
But then
usually hit,
coach,
they usually hit later round.
then coach said something right there too, because if you trade out that first round, now the money that you need for your draft class
It's a lot less.
diminishes.
Exactly.
So it goes from a possible 8 to 9 million for your draft class down to about 7
Or
Right.
6.
or
Right.
6. Yeah.
So
Now.
then again, and here's why I keep saying, then again, all of the moves that are going to be made in the draft are going to be contingent on the moves that you make in free agency. Because if in free agency, let's just say, if in free agency somehow, some way, Terry is able to get us back above, let's just say Terry is able to get us 11 million in the black, then going into the draft, you're not worried about taking that $2 million hit.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I keep saying the free agency part of it is going to determine what our draft looks like, and it's going to determine what our team looks like going forward. That free agency is what y'all need to pay attention to. Because if we get in the black, we gonna wreck shop in the draft. It's I keep saying it's gonna be the icing on the cake. Even if we get, let's just say we get 5 million over, we good.
Yeah, because the main thing you're gonna, like I said, from what I'm thinking the goal. Excuse me, my bad. I think the goal that they're going to be looking for is to try to get this thing over to at least 15 million in the black.
Yeah.
At least 15, 20 in the black. Um, and if they can't come close to it, there's going to be a situation where they trade out that first round. And I know that's not going to sound like a very popular thing to do, but until you can get a hold of what that Kirk Cousins contract situation, like you said, that may be the course of action right there. Yes, you may lose out on certain guys, certain popular guys in the first round, but as business wise, that Kirk Cousins contract is going to be the main priority that right now. And how the hell they gonna move on for that without taking a major penalty behind it?
I'm gonna say it like this, and we're gonna get ready to wrap this up. Terry gonna earn his money this season. If he ain't earned it no other season, he gonna earn it this season. And he's gonna earn it, and he gonna earn that title. YK Styles say the Falcons ain't shit. You wait and see. Terry gonna finesse somebody. I ain't been wrong about it yet. Every season he find a way to finesse some team to get the Falcons where they need to be. He gonna do it.
Y'all talk about Atlanta culture. Yeah, Terry Fontenot is the embodiment of the Atlanta culture. He a scammer.
Right.
Yeah.
He a scammer.
Boy, he look. Let me tell you something. Terry, that type of dude that'll put you outside in the heat, make you sweat, and then sell your sweat back to you. So
The fact, like I said, because you have to think about it. The fact that when he came in, they got rid of the 3-4 major pillars on this team, and turned the cap situation from 60 to 70 in the red to 23 in the black in one off season. That don't sound like a damn scam, y'all.
look, and then told Blank told Blank, see what I did? I just saved you some money. Blank said, oh, cool. Come on, sit up here because they just you know what? I'm gonna need Schmeagle to sit down. Then Terry told him, "When I watch what I do next season." Terry said, "Oh, we got a little bit of money in the bank. How we gonna do this?" Terry said, "Don't worry about it. We built an entire defense." You mean to tell me you built an entire defense and we ain't lose no money? Nope, we good. Terry looking at that $11 million laughing. Okay, I can take care of that in about 2 days. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm. Southside said, have you seen that the Bears are linked to Dahlman? Probably. Yeah. Dahlman is going to get a lot of attention this offseason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Who's on the Bears right now?
Oh, damn no.
I'm talking about as far as coaching.
Was that Ben Johnson?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. See, here's the deal with coaches. When you go to an organization that was struggling and that's in disarray, and you get in there, the first thing you want to do is get quality players that's going to shore up the biggest problem. And their biggest problem was their offense. Caleb Williams wasn't lighting shit up. He was doing all right until he wasn't. Nail polish wasn't lighting it up like that. They were doing okay until he had a small run. So they looking at it like, damn, if Penix was them games, Penix was standing there, you mean tell me he was barely touched? Yeah, we need that dude. Yeah. Nick Gullion said Terry gonna scam someone into getting a dirty title. Scat Pack with $39.99. Really?
Think about it. He got out of a Julio Jones contract in which Julio Jones had so much guaranteed money that he never played for. It got Tennessee to motherfucking pay for most of it.
When I tell you Terry put the ruffle on the panties, Terry glued them ruffles on that panty with some hot glue and sold it.
So, hey man, they about to have some fun. He about to have some fun this offseason.
Oh yeah,
he about to have fun.
You got to embarrass somebody.
Look. If y'all look up in free agency and say Falcons acquire such and such, and Terry Face come up on Twitter, oh, we just know we told you so.
Mm-hmm.
Just know we told you so. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Terry been being disrespectful ever since he got here. It's gonna happen.
You guys think we draft? Did we think we draft a kicker this year? Late.
I don't think you need to really draft a kicker.
Find one in free agent one, or find one undrafted.
Probably undrafted.
That's where you find most of these damn kickers at anyway. Yeah. Unless you got a special kicker coming out of college, most of the time they not even drafted.
Then I'm gonna wait to see what those guys got in that USF too, because that's what Dallas did last year. They found that boy. He can't keep it.
I'm gonna check this last comment right here. That we're gonna get out of here. You said I watched Jeff Ulbrich interview about the Falcons defense. Why you keep begging somebody that Jeff Ulbrich said that he got to take the Falcons Patriots defense?
After who?
The Falcons Patriots. What? Begging somebody. Nephew. Okay, I'm confused. I'm confused.
I'm lost. I'm in another world.
Oh, basically, from what I like, okay, because I saw it when it came out. The thing you got to understand about Jeff Ulbrich is this: Raheem benefited from being on teams that won the Super Bowl that he indirectly had no responsibility if they lost. Now, hear me out. Jeff Ulbrich went to a team where he benefited from Robert Saleh calling some of the stuff on defense. So you got to understand, both of these guys benefited from somebody else doing more work, having more responsibility. So when it all came down to it, they didn't fire Jeff Ulbrich. They fired Robert Saleh, even though their defense was doing good under him. And then when the responsibility fell on Ulbrich, he just didn't. He didn't match up because why? If the team's winning losses was on Robert Saleh, it didn't matter if he was making a difference or not because he didn't have responsibility for it. Same thing with Raheem. Like I keep telling people, if Los Angeles would have won, would have lost that Super Bowl, they would have blamed McVay. They wouldn't have blamed Raheem Morris. They would have blamed McVay. So it wouldn't have mattered who if they won or lost. Raheem was just along for the ride.
Mm-hmm.
So coming here now, you put these two guys on Front Street. That means that if you tell me that you're not the same person that you was when you left here, which you shouldn't be, then that tells me you gonna get in Rod's face and be like, this is not working. I'm gonna take a little bit of what I learned in New York and bring it here. I need my guys. You're a linebacker. You a former linebacker. You should know what guys you need in the linebacker room to make it better. If you allow Raheem to run roughshod over what you know is gonna work, you gonna get fired before Raheem is.
It's kind of funny. Now, all the position on defense, he's mentioned certain players. Only player he mentioned on defense was Caleb. It's not Caleb, Caden.
Yeah, Caden Ellis. Yeah, because Caden Ellis is probably a player. Caden Ellis is probably a player that reminds him of himself. I don't know how Jeff Ulbrich played because I didn't study him back then, but I'm willing to bet Caden Ellis reminds him of himself.
Jeff Ulbrich, they were two completely different linebackers. Jeff Ulbrich was really just a thumper.
Okay, so yeah, like I said,
now if anybody that reminds Jeff Ulbrich, that's Caden Ellis. But not Caden Ellis, but that's Nate Landman. That's who Jeff Ulbrich was as a linebacker. He was Nate Landman.
Flat feet, yes.
He said, I want Jeff Ulbrich to be interviewed about what he said about the Patriots, Hugo, and make some changes
for nephew Jeff Ulbrich. They keep making the guy back to already been to the.
Well, the thing is, I'm not making anything. Jeff Ulbrich said what he said. He the one said he ain't the same person he used to be.
Mm-hmm.
My stance on it is wait and see. But I'm saying, do not be surprised if him and Rod get into it. Because you got to think about it. If you just saw a guy get fired after 1 year being a defensive coordinator, you're not trying to get fired. And if you're coming from a team where you just saw your head coach get fired, you're gonna try to save your behind as best as possible. Why? Because if you know Rod throw people under the bus. I see, y'all got to pay attention to this. Familiarity also gives you the ability to know this man's tendencies. So if I'm back on this team working with you, and I know you got a tendency to throw people under the bus when stuff don't go your way, I'm covering my ass. So I'm saying, don't be surprised if you get into it with Rod. Like, Rod's not going to be able to run roughshod because Jeff's been in the league just as long as he has. I know some of y'all might not be high on Jeff Ulbrich, but you got to look at the bigger picture. You got to look at the bigger picture. The other DC, he didn't have that longevity like that, so he don't have a platform to tell Rod no. He don't.
Yeah, that's the best thing to do. We gonna find out.
Yeah, we gonna find out. I'm not saying this is concrete, but if he want to keep his job, he gonna buck. He gonna have to.
Because if he don't and play the blame game again, Arthur gonna send him out on his ass.
Yeah. Yeah,
That why I said getting rid of Jimmy Lake was the get out of jail free card.
right. Because Jimmy Lake didn't have no experience. So Jimmy Lake didn't have no experience. So he was the easy scapegoat. But all right, man. Look, man, we over the 2 hour mark.
Oh, shit.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know when we do the content. Mr. Tactician 78 on YouTube. Make sure you hit me up. You catch up and check out my shorts. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, subscribe to Six Man. Also, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to Coach Unchained. Coach, what you got for him on Saturday?
Tomorrow I start my first little mock draft tomorrow.
Ooh.
Only one trade. I promise. Only one trade.
Nice.
So and if anybody wanted to come on it, I'm letting one of the fans on the chat. If they want to come on and do one, they can do one. If not, we're gonna go for that. Plus, I'm gonna talk some more about the free agency that possible that we can look at.
Okay.
And stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay. And then we gonna be coming with the STS after coach about 3:30.
Yeah. So look, the stuff we had for the show tonight, I tell you what, we're gonna swap it to another night. We really want to get this football talk out the way. So y'all stay tuned for that because it's gonna be some foolishness. We're gonna be talking about some anime. We're gonna start off with Dragon Ball Z. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned for that. But man, listen.
I don't know about that.
So the STS coach is basically our shoot your shit
okay
stuff. So we're gonna be talking about DEI.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's tomorrow.
Yeah, it's gonna be right. It'll be right around 4:00. So it'll be right after the show. We got the DEI and the hypocrisy behind that.
Yeah.
We're gonna be roasting the hashtag boycott Super Bowl movement they trying to push. And
we got there's a lot of white people in them.
And we're gonna do the movie comparison between Bloodsport and The Last Dragon.
Oh man, bro, that's gonna be hilarious. That is gonna be hilarious.
Bruce Leroy.
Yeah,
Bruce
man.
Leroy versus Frank
Leroy
Dukes.
Yeah. All right, man. Look, we're gonna let y'all have y'all evening back.
Who the baddest man in all of Harlem?
Show enough. Yeah. All right, man. We out of here. We'll hit y'all later.
Put your eyes back in your head.
Pry their eyes open and force them to see the truth. We will skin the sheep and sacrifice the weak. The unholy alliance has arrived.